Hey everyone, it's Nate with Metrics here with our next project. I've got a 82 Honda NC50, also called the Express. It needs a lot, but we're going to see what we can do. There's a few things. One is need to pull the carb and get the float unstuck. Need to make sure it's got spark. It needs a new throttle cable and a new set of tires and tubes. And the wiring is suspect. The key switch has been pulled out, and there's all these butt connectors and crazy stuff going on. I'll show you some details in a bit, but let's get started. So here's the bike, 82 Honda Express NC50. I've gotten started on some things already, but I wanted to give you a quick view of the kind of wiring that I'm finding in this thing. You know, it's not ideal, and it's all over the place. I have done some stuff. I put a new key switch in. And there was similar wiring underneath the cover, so I've soldered and heat shrunk all those connections, and now the key is working. You can, I have the battery out, but you can take my word for it. And needs a new throttle cable, and I've got the carb pulled and cleaned, and I'm waiting to put that back together. But I'm gonna hold off until my delivery shows up with the new throttle cable. So I'm going to get started on cutting and soldering and heat shrinking this mess, and then throw the battery back in. So here's what we got going on. I'm no electronics or electrical wizard here, but hopefully you can see this. Basically just strip the two pieces of wire you want to connect and push them together so that the inner wires interlock a little bit. And then make sure you put your piece of heat shrink, trying to zoom to the right level there, but put your piece of heat shrink on first, get it slid far enough back so that the heat from your soldering won't make it start shrinking, and then just some flux core solder, and I use just a El Cheapo electric soldering gun. I do have a gas one, but this one's just easier, so gonna go ahead and solder this and heat shrink it. And for the heat shrink itself, I do have a heat gun, not required. You can work this stuff with a butane lighter or almost anything, match if you need to, whatever, just to get it hot. A hair dryer will work. So you know, this side of work is pretty easy, and doesn't take a lot of fancy tools or anything. Just wanted to give you a shot of it. So just a quick shot of what I was trying to accomplish here. You can see the solders in there wrapped around the wires, and now just going to apply the heat shrink over. So there's the finished product, soldered, heat shrunk. Definitely a lot better than Scotch connectors with butt connectors, with other connectors, with whatever. So I'm going to throw this back together, and we'll move on to the next thing.